So we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the world, I guess, and then I wanted to talk, give my opinions about AI a little bit deeper, right? So, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about Trump, the 24 campaign. We'll talk a little bit about I guess we have to talk a little bit about the currency situation since he made those remarks that are, dollars going to crap or whatever, and then we'll wrap it up with some AI, and I don't know if something else comes, we'll talk about that. All right, so I read a little bit into the DA, not the DA. I'm sorry. I read a little bit into the judge. I follow Zero Hedge on Twitter. I think everybody should. It's a pretty good source of information, and you know the judge that's residing is he seems like pretty practical and pretty fair. Um, no, I know they try to hit him with like 37 felonies, 100 and something years, but the reality is I don't think they're going to have enough to convict him, and this is more theatrical. And I have a feeling that this is going to play a lot like the 2016 campaign when they really tried to undermine him, and they gave him all this free media attention. Like literally, the media attention this guy has gotten over. And what I mean by this guy, let me rephrase that: the media attention that former President Donald Trump has gotten over the last, I would probably say 7 days leading up to this trial is insane. I mean, if I had to put a number on it, I think it'd probably be close to $1 billion of free ad space that they've given this guy. And, the first time around, it was more like they got people riled up that wanted to vote for him. And now they're getting those same people riled up because they are going after like a witch hunt. And it is a witch hunt, bro. We'll get to that in a second. Hear me out. But, this time around, I think they're trying to use the media to say, this is our biggest enemy. This is our next Hitler kind of thing. Look how bad this guy is. But dude, let's step back, man. Let's really be honest and look at, like I said in my post earlier, and I stand by it. I'm not any one person loyalist. The only person I'd follow is God. I'm not going to follow another man. You know what I mean? What the hell? Like, no, it's just like, do I think that his policies are good for the country? Yeah, that's why I vote for him. Do I think he's morally, am I looking to him to be my moral arbiter? Like, oh my God, that's the guy that I got to, no, dude, no, that's, and you're crazy if you think that. Like, maybe it's because I have a business mindset where you're willing to overlook certain things and you're like, look, you're here to get a job done. Your job as the president, apparently it's to be liked, but it's not, right? It's supposed to be what's best for the country. And you're the foreign, like affairs liaison in a sense, right? You have a lot of power here, but you're representing the country worldwide. And I think he did a good job. I think he did a great job representing us. We didn't start any wars. We stopped conflicts, and he was decisive in his decision making. So, there's that. But, you want to talk about criminals and stuff, dude. I mean, you could go back. Let's go far back as, Clinton, the whole Monica Lewinsky thing. That should have been enough right there to, he lied under oath, right? You want to talk about criminal behavior. You could definitely talk about the Biden family. You could definitely talk about Hunter, and they literally have payments coming in and nothing, donations to the Biden Center at Penn State coming in from China. Nothing's done. And it's not like, oh, you did it to him. It's just kind of like, bro, like, don't come at me with the, oh, every single politician is a criminal. All right. Newsflash, dog. There is no such thing as like an honest politician. Because if there was an honest politician, and I'm sure there probably was, they would do their time, the 2 years, the 4 years, the 6 years. They say, hey, I did my part as a citizen. Now I'm gone. And that's another freaking thing, dude. I got to get this off my chest because it's just bugging the hell out of me, bro. Because it's like the way that our society was structured, it was never meant to have career, lifelong politicians, bro. It was never supposed to be that way. It was supposed to be, hey, I'm not even going to talk about like the federal level, right? I'm going to start off at like the local city council level, right? It's supposed to be like, hey, look, I have done something in my life. I have achieved a certain level of X. And now I have this knowledge and I want to share it with my fellow citizens. I want to contribute as a public servant. I'm going to take away from my personal life and my personal gain. I'm going to put that on pause. I want to come help my local community. I want to share the knowledge I have. Like, hey, and this is just an example. It's not like every single field. And I want to be very clear about that. It's not just being a successful freaking businessman is the only thing that somebody has to contribute. If you've been a teacher in the inner city for 30 freaking years, I think you have a lot to teach the rest of the world about a lot of different skills, especially how to communicate, how to problem solve, how to get things done. There's a lot of things that those types of people in that career field have gone through that someone in business probably doesn't have to go through, right? Or like a cop. If you've been a cop for 30 plus years and you've served, you protected, you probably have a lot of life experience. You probably have dealt with and done so many things that regular people haven't done. Then you have veterans, like a former veteran that have seen life in a totally different way, that have seen the impact of policies affect their brothers and sisters on the front line. They probably have a lot to contribute, right? Firefighters, right? Like even doctors, right? Lawyers, criminal lawyers, divorce lawyers. All these people have different types of life experiences that they have done things in their life. And they're like, wow, I have learned this over the course of a human life, which in my opinion is like 25 to 30 years, right? Then you take a step back, you're retired, you're well off, you're, 50 to 60, whatever, 50 to 60, I think is a good age, right? Because you actually have went through life, bro. You raised a family. You've been through that hardship. You've made friends, lost friends, made bad decisions, made good decisions. You've experienced life. You have something to say that's probably going to be golden nuggets to our system. Those are the people that should be coming in and serving at the city council level, at the state senate level, at the congressional level, at the, Senate, all this, right? It shouldn't be somebody who's been a politician their whole freaking life and they haven't done anything outside of being a politician. Maybe they wrote a book and shit. That's about it. Or they served on some fucking staff. Right? Like, what the fuck do you know about real fucking life? What the fuck do you know about a single mother that's struggling in the inner city that's just trying to fucking make it? How could you ever even relate to her? You're so fucking jaded. You have no experience for the regular man, and you're gonna fucking make policies that's gonna govern 300 million plus people that have to live day to day. That's the shit that blows my mind. Right? Like the whole system is retarded. Like it really is. It really is. It's like it makes no sense. Then you come at, Trump's, they're all fucking criminals. They're all fucking criminals. You don't think Nancy Pelosi is a motherfucking criminal? Just look at her fucking bank account. I'm sorry I'm getting fucking angry, dude, but it's just like, this is the one thing that just blows the gasket away from me when people say that. And it's like, dude, you're speaking from your bias. I'm not saying I'm not saying Trump probably didn't do some shady shit back in the, of course he did. Definitely he's not a morally high ethical, person when it comes to, look, do I think he's going to do good by the country? I do. But did he have sex with her, the porn star, the Daniels chick? Did he probably did make payments. He probably did. But is that enough to indict somebody for the rest of their life? Bro, shut the fuck up. All these fucking people out there that are fucking pundits, that are fucking talking out of their fucking ass, ask their fucking spouse how loyal they probably been, right? So it's just like, they're all like, it's like you're trying to say that if somebody's running for president, they need to be absolutely perfect, right? Fucking Joe Biden, I remember Rogan talked about this shit. It was crazy. Like he literally had a thing where he got caught lying about him finishing top of his class and doing this and doing that. He's a fucking liar, just like Trump is. Guess what? They all fucking lie. We can't control that. If it was up to me, I wouldn't say, oh yeah, have Trump run. I'd probably say have a fucking regular person that's out there today, somebody out there right now that has built things that just wants good, like a fucking, has the demeanor of, honestly, like a JFK, bro. Like he, obviously he hasn't either, he didn't really do a lot, but I meant like he at least gives a shit enough that he was willing to die for what he believed in. Right. And that's another thing is you're never going to get people to run an office because if you look at what they did to Trump, do you think anybody now that gets to a certain age is going to run? Like I'll be straight up on it. I had political ambitions when I was younger. I was like, yeah, I even ran for my city council. I held an economic development board seat. I cared, and you just get to a certain fucking point that you're just like, yeah, bro, this shit ain't worth it. So how can I make the most impact? It's not going to be in there. How I'm going to make my impact is using my voice to call shit out. And hopefully, once I get in a position that I could put money behind a candidate, I'm going to pick the person that I think is, going to represent us the best, that doesn't have blind power ambition, that sits down and says, look, I'm going to do this for 4 to 6 years. I'm raising this campaign. I'm local on whatever the fuck it is. That's the type of person I want to support. I don't want that smoke no more. I don't want it, especially after what they did to Trump. Do you know how many other smart people that would have stepped up now are going to look at that and say, yeah, screw that? And you might say, oh, that person's cowardly. Just stop. No, bro. Nobody wants to be put through that shit. Nobody wants to have their family dragged out in front of that shit. And you have these fucking crazy loonies on both sides. You have Trump supporters that are crazy that if they saw Joe Biden walking down the street, they'd be like, hey, same thing with the other way. You have these crazy people that if they saw Trump walking down the street, they would lose their mind, right? And it's like, that is not a healthy society. There needs to be some type of like pause and step back, like, yo, whether you're left or you're right, we're still, first off, we're human beings first. Then we're supposed to be Americans, right? This whole system only works if we believe that we are all Americans, right? And then you can say, oh, that guy was divisive. And then other people say, oh, Obama was the one that started the divisivism. It's like, it's like fucking little kids bickering, bro. Like, I get to a point where, like, I'm just like, in my life, I'm just like, does it really fucking matter? Does it fucking matter? What are we, fucking 6? Like, oh, that guy started it. It's like, grow the fuck up. Who gives a shit about who started it? Right? Like, let's be the adults in the room and say, hey, look, man, fucking mistakes were made on both sides. We all said some shit. Yeah, if you had friends in your life, there's always times that you get into heated debate sometimes and you say shit you don't mean because you get emotional, but you still love each other, right? And then you're like, hey, man, my bad. Yeah, my bad too, bro. Like, I was an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm like, it's all good, bro. We love each other, right? That's what we fucking need in this country, is just like, yo, bro, a lot of shit's been said this way. A lot of shit's been said that way. But look, bro, let's fucking actually work together to fucking do our job, which is to do what's right and do what's best for the people. And in my opinion, I'm a fucking firm believer in this, is if you take care of the lowest class of your citizens, if you take care of the most in need, the most hurt, the most vulnerable people in your society, then everything else will trickle up, not trickle down. It will trickle up. I'm 110% a firm believer in that. And the reality is nobody gives a shit about those people. The people that are most underserved, nobody cares on both sides, So, it's just, it really grinds my gears, like, it's just like, what are we supposed to do, bro? The average person, people like me and people like you, right? That you're listening to this, I don't know, you're probably working out, you're doing, I don't know, whatever the fuck it is you're doing, probably something fucking productive to make your life better, right? You're trying to, hey, let me listen to this guy, see if I can gain a little nugget. Let me listen to that, gain a little nugget. Let me go work out. Let me go try this side hustle. Let me get ahead in life, right? We're not fucking worried about if this guy or we don't. We pay attention when we need to pay attention. We read the ballots and we try to make the best informed decision we can. But there's another sickness in this country where politics has become freaking sport. It's like you're cheering for the Lakers or you're cheering for the the Cowboys or something, right? It's like, when the hell did that happen? Like, I don't understand that. It still does not make sense to me. Your political affiliations, your political ideas are not a sports team, bro. This is not a fucking competition. This is real people's lives that are being affected. And if you're going to make, decisions solely based on, well, I just don't like that person. It's like, that's not what's going to be best for the nation, and that's another problem too, bro. That's like a whole different topic, is like how we vote, the structure and everything is just, for another day. I think I've said enough about this. We're almost 15 minutes in. My bad about the rant, man. And if I swear, but there's just certain things that just really just freaking piss me off, bro, that I'm just like, no, yeah, I can't control my emotion on stuff like that because it's just like, yo, I gotta say this shit and I just want to get it off my chest because it's like it fucking bugs me to my core, bro. It really hurts me to my core. And I'm like, why can't we just be rational, logical people and just try to figure shit out? I don't care what you are, what color you are, whatever you sex is or whatever. I just want a safe environment for my family and friends, and I think you want that too. So let's figure this out together. There's no need to like yell and create lines and finger point. That's like high school shit, bro. That's high school shit. Anyways, now on to AI. You know, let's start the AI conversation with a technology conversation overall, right? And I remember when I was younger, I think I was like in my undergrad, and yeah, I would just be college was fun. So like, I would stay up late, just watch YouTube videos on shit that I would like, right? And one of them was like a tech video, and this guy laid it out very, very elegantly when like he put together, in like the 1800s, they said, oh, the whole world population is going to die. We can only support like an X amount. There's not going to be enough food. There's not going to be whatever, right? Everybody started panicking, and guess what happened? We started to learn how to till, and then food production went up, and well, what do you know? Population went up. But then we tilled a little too hard, and you got the Dust Bowl, and then that kind of fucked shit up, right? But then, technology kept advancing, and there's a lot of layers to this. Screw it, I really want to peel this onion back to like the structural changes, like of our society. And I think it's very important to start with the farm. We were founded on what, like tobacco and coffee beans, right? And that was like our first product that we sold. Anyways, digress. But back to the main thing. I'm trying to think in my head like how to lay this out, and it's like when you had a family and you had a farm and that was like your livelihood, right? And I'm also going to throw a little bit of Indian culture in this, so it kind of makes sense because you can see how I think in my perspective. Sorry, I just came back from a run real quick, so I'm still kind of showered, but still sweaty. I don't know. Sorry, but anyways, so the mentality of America used to be, and this is the Indian mentality, was, hey, you had your plot of land, or you had whatever you had, and you raised your family to help you, take care of that land, or to take care of your business, or to take care of you when you're older. Either way, all roads went down, or all paths went down that road, right? Like your kids were your investment. Your kids were your 401k. Your kids were your pension plan. That was everything. And as technology progressed, and we got, an American Express introduced the first company, I think it was, introduced a pension. And then we got the New Deal, and we got Social Security. And we got all these little different things that came along. That family of like the parents investing in the kids, so then the kids would take care of the parents, that kind of died. And we saw that separation happen. And then we had this big spark of individualism. Right. And that's kind of where we are today. And now, because things are getting so expensive, you're seeing that nuclear family come back together. What the fuck does this have to do with farming? Okay, let me go back. When farming started out, majority of the population were farmers. That's just what you did for work. There was no, because somebody had to grow the food. As technology progressed, those farmers started leaving the farm because capitalism did its thing, and more effective ways of doing business and cropping and farming came into play. And then those people went off and they did a whole bunch of other crap. And that was one way that technology, in the beginning, there were short-term pains. There always is going to be a short-term pain, but there always will be something that comes along. I don't know what the answer is, but if we look back to the pattern of history, as technology starts getting introduced, yes, you see this happen. Jobs come down, but then boom, something else, another industry opens up. Those people find something to do with their time. Society is going to continue to progress forward unless we have a government in place or, something in place that just artificially holds us back. Right. So with the AI thing, I think the same thing is going to happen with the AI. It's going to progress forward. And this is where I tie in the family thing. It's like, because of these pressures that are coming in from all sides and this fierce competition, parents are going to have to start investing in their kids again. and their kids are going to be their 401k. They are going to be their retirement again. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I really don't. And it's like, so un-American, like, you should be independent, have your own house. You don't want your mother there. You don't want your father there. But it's like, it's different, bro. Like, it's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, I get the idea of being independent, but I also understand the idea of staying together as a family, because I think that's one of the core problems in our nation today, is I don't think that majority of parents actually put the time and energy and effort into their kids as they would if they realize, like, oh shit, that's my retirement, right? It's a need basis on both ends. And then also, when the kids, right, grow up and they have kids, they're gonna take care of their grandparents and take care of their kids, because they're gonna show them, like, look, we did it, you're gonna do it. And then make the younger kids understand, like, one day you're gonna be old and your kids are gonna have to do it. That's why, because even if you didn't care, selfishly, you are gonna care, because one day you're gonna be old. And you're gonna, you know what I mean? And then that is how I think the world should be structured, right? Because then, if we instill that in our society, we get government out of it, we get pensions and corporations and, oh, look at this Ponzi scheme, all that shit out of it. What's real is only the people that birthed you are going to give a shit about you until they die. And only the people that you birthed, you're going to give a shit about until you die, right? So to me, that would change society, because then eventually, over like a decade's time, every community would realize, like, oh shit, my children are going to be my saviors. My children are going to be my everything, my retirement, my whatever I got, right? So then what happens, or what would naturally, logically, and rationally happen, there'll still be shortfalls, but the majority of people are going to realize, hey, oh shit, man, I really got to pick a good partner. My partner has to be up to a certain standard. And our mindset has to align, like, we're going to live for this kid. And we're going to put everything we can into our kids. And our kids are going to, then take care of us. So then you're not going to have so many people, doing a bunch of, like, stuff young people does, like sleeping around, doing whatever. Because they're going to be like, whoa, the faster I find somebody that's sincere, that's on the same mindset, that understands what life is about, understands I need to raise a family. This girl is going to help me with my parents, and I'm going to help her with her parents. Like, we're a unit. The quicker you get married, the quicker you guys put your heads together and you guys work as a unit, as a strong family unit, and you raise your kids with those values too. Like, hey, we're fucking taking care of, your grandma and grandpas. One day you're going to grow up, you're going to take care of us, because we're going to be your kids' grandma and grandpas, right? To me, that is what's going to trump AI. Because even if AI comes and it breaks a lot of these jobs up and all the family unit staying together is what's going to keep people alive. It really is. And, AI in general, the next wave, guys, is creating stuff for like ChatGPT or these systems or these processes, just like how, this stupid thing changed our lives and people made millions and millions of dollars. What am I talking about? Millions? They probably made trillions of dollars of enterprise value because they created apps, right? Because we became more productive because of this thing. Oh, I got an email, boom, I fucking fire it off. I could find a deal, right? Like, I've made millions off my fucking phone. I found real estate deals off my fucking phone. I collect rent off my phone. I pay contractors off my fucking phone, right? This piece of technology has unlocked trillions of dollars of value. AI is going to do the same thing. And of course, is it dangerous? Of course, is there all the shit that could happen to it? Of course. But you know what the fucking funniest thing is? Ask yourself this question. Who's really more dangerous, AI or human beings? Right? Who has done genocides? Who has fucking used a nuclear bomb? Who has enslaved people? It's humans. Humans are the most monstrous, most cruelest, most craziest things. Right now, we are worse than AI. At least with AI, you could try to curate it. You can literally like open up the brain and say, oh yeah, that part where we're gonna enslave people, that part where we're gonna war, that's gone. That part we have the ability to be able to filter that. We really do, if you really think about that, right? And then the second part of it is look, man, if we're gonna survive as a species overall, right? Like and this gets into the spiritual conversation about like our souls and what our fucking lives mean and like all this shit, right? Like, but I 110% believe, there is an end date for Earth. Whether you believe that's going to be God coming down, judging, or you're a scientist kind of guy and you think, oh yeah, well naturally, yeah, that's going to happen because of volcano eruptions, whatever the fuck it is, right? It's gonna happen. The only chance that we're gonna have as like a species or as like a society, whatever the fuck you want to call this, right, to survive is we get the fuck off this planet and probably leave the galaxy and go explore. I don't think that's going to be possible in this meat suit that we have. It's just not. Just mathematically, it's just not. So we need to be able to leverage technology to do that. And shit's gonna get wild, bro. Shit's gonna get wild. Like there's gonna be. I would not be surprised by the time I'm ready to die. Like hopefully if I live to be 80 or something, but hopefully if I live to be 90, I don't know, fucking as long as I can, right? Whatever. That we are going to start tinkering with consciousness and being able to upload our consciousness to a robot. I was like, fucking, just like how you're listening to me, you're feeling these emotions, you're thinking, you're whatever, you're just going to be a fucking robot. You're just not going to be, if you just grab your hands and you feel this, you're just not going to feel this skin. It's just going to be a part of like a robot, but it's still going to be you. I really do think that's the way eventually we're going to have to head. Right. And it's like, well, then what happens to us? And it's like, well, fuck, what happened to the woolly mammoths? What the fuck happened to the dinosaurs? It's fucking life. Humans are not meant to live forever and ever and ever. And who the fuck told you that they were? We're not. There's no fucking guarantee that we're going to live forever. There's no fucking guarantee that our species is going to take off forever. That's fucking called life. It's either we're going to do it to ourselves by fucking bombing each other and shit, and causing all kinds of like viruses and who the fuck knows and wiping us each other out. Or there's always going to be a threat. Just like in the world, just like today in business, it's like, oh my God, the dollar's going to fall. Oh my God, COVID happened. Oh my God, this happened. And there's always fucking something that's happening. There's always a reason not to invest. There's always a reason not to progress, right? Fuck investing. There's always a reason not to progress. I came home. I can't go to the gym today because, bro, my fucking work day was hard and I'm tired. I just want to drink a beer. Fuck working out, right? There's always a reason not to progress. But naturally in our society, we're all headed towards progression. We are, because we're curious fucking cute creatures, bro. And we should. I think we should push ourselves to our limit. Because it's like, why not? You only got one life. Your life is a fucking flash of an eye compared to the overall universe. What's the average age right now? 75? Okay, fuck it. We live it to 80. I'm already fucking 30-something, 2 years old. I got 48 fucking years left. That's fucking nothing, dude. It's already April. It blows my fucking mind. 4 months of this year are fucking gone. 2 months will be summer. Halfway through the year is gone. This time is fucking flying. Life is going to fly. It's not going to pause or stop for anybody. Yeah, do I think we should take shit? Should we do this the right way and have a board and have a council and oversee it? Sure. But it's also like you progress when you just try things and you go forward with things. And we're going to have to go forward with things. And if you don't believe in that, that's okay. I don't hate you. I don't disagree. I'm not going to yell at you or whatever. That's your opinion. That's fine. This is just my opinion. What the fuck do I know? This is just me saying what I feel, what I believe. I'm not saying I'm fucking right by any means, by anything I fucking said. These are just my beliefs. This is just like how I see the world. And I hope fucking not everybody sees the world my way. I hope you completely disagree. And then, you comment or you fucking tell me like, whatever the fuck it is. And I listen and I say, oh shit, I didn't think about it that way. And it helps me adjust. That's how we progress each other, right? Like that's how I think. I don't look to argue to fucking win. You don't. And that's the funniest fucking thing, right? People think that you win an argument because you shut somebody up and you were right. No, you fucking win the argument if you're the person that ends up changing your fucking mind, because you're the person that grew from that conversation. You're the person that learned, right? But yeah, back to the AI thing, man. I think those are going to be the natural overarching, progressions. So the layers, right? Like where we started farming, that technology made life better. It broke the nuclear family. Now technology is coming in to re-break it, to get so advanced that we're going to need that nuclear family again, which I think is going to be a great thing for society. And the overbearing arc or arch or whatever the hell you want to say about all of this is we're going to have to progress that way to get the hell off of this earth and move on. It might not have to happen right now. It might not even happen in 200 years. It might take 300 years, but there is a day that there will be no life on earth. And I and I'm going to be fucking long gone, and who the fuck knows what happens to my seed? Who knows what's what? But just me as a human being caring for other human beings, just that's it. It's like I want to see human beings continue. And you might say, well, we're not going to be in this form. It's like, yeah, of course we're not, bro. I mean, we're always moving and progressing. And I just don't understand why that's so hard to grasp and accept. Like, I guess if you're feeling inferior, like, oh, I'm not going to be good enough, it has nothing to do with you. We're going to enjoy our lives. But the future is going to change. I mean, like, what was the average height of a Roman, few thousand years ago was like under 5 foot or 5'1" or some shit like that. Now, like the average is like 5'7". We grew 7 inches, right? Our bone density is bigger, our muscle mass is bigger, our our brains are big. So we're always kind of progressing. This is the natural way of things, and it's like I'm not saying, oh, in our lifetime, I wouldn't take it. Let's be 100% honest. I would not be one of the people that would say, oh yeah, go ahead and put something in me. I'm like, me personally. Growing up as like a 90s kid, growing up without this fucking thing and just, being able to live life. I've enjoyed it, bro. I feel bad for the population today that's coming up that didn't get to experience life the way I did. I'm sure other people feel the same way about theirs, but I know what I know. I know what I like. And I am happy to live my life out and die normally. But, the next couple of generations, when we're really old geezers, right? When we're really freaking 80 on our porch and like, this damn generation, you know what I mean? Yeah, that generation might be susceptible into putting something in their arm and paying for it or whatever. I mean, that's just how life goes, bro. That's how life goes. You don't think 80-year-olds are looking at us like we're freaking dumb when we see a food or plate come down and the first thing everybody does without just being like, oh, wow, I can't wait for this bite. Or like, thank you, God, for this meal. The first thing we fucking do is grab our fucking phone. Like, yeah, they're probably looking at like these fucking idiots, right? But once again, it's just a natural progression of life. And I do 110% think that the fear of AI is way overblown, bro. It's like, yes, could it be dangerous? Of course it could be. It has the potential. But couldn't it be dangerous for Russia to nuke us? Don't they have the potential? Yes, they do. Isn't it dangerous to give human beings guns or give them knives or give them whatever? Of course it is. Isn't it dangerous to give access to a human being with a metal can full of explosives and let them drive 80 miles an hour down the road with a bunch of other human beings? Yeah, we do it on a fucking daily basis. It's called driving a car. But there's inherent risks always in the world, right? Like, that, oh, fuck, that was another fucking thing that stopped progression. Like, oh, fuck, this is going to fuck everything up. It was like the automobile, right? The dudes that own, horses and carriage companies were like, oh, the automobile is going to fucking ruin everything. We're all going to die. It's like, relax, dog, and so then it's like, it makes me think also, like, who would be scared of AI coming in? Damn, I never asked that question, but it's like, sorry, pausing here, just thinking, like, ultimately, capitalism would have to eat itself, right? Because you get so efficient that it displaces so many, and that's where like ultimate utopia does come, though, right? Like, isn't that the whole fucking point of everything, right? Like, you make robots that make robots, and then those robots, they're the ones that are making you Jack in the Box at night, and they're the ones constructing things and building things and cleaning sewers and doing that, and then humans are just sitting there like, oh shit, okay, now what do we do, right? Like, that is the ultimate utopian, right? To be free, just to do whatever the fuck it is that you want to do, just like we did before all of this, right? I mean, of course, we always had to hunt and gather and, get along, that's there. But like the overall the overall point of a society is to get to that level, where everybody is equal, right? Like, and yeah, I just don't see how that could be done without technology. That could only be done with technology, right? Like, and at a certain point in time, our governing. Sorry guys, I always get fucking tongue twisted around. Fucking mind is racing 100 miles an hour. I just can't fucking spit it out what I'm trying to say. But our governing body would have to step in and say, "Ooh, okay, Amazon has fucking 100 million robots and they make everything now. Yeah, we probably won't even be using money at that point, right? Like, if anything, if everything was so fucking plentiful, would stealing even be an option? Like, if everything was so plentiful and we got so much production, would it even matter? Because that's what things are, right? That's why humans fight, right? We fight over fucking things. We fight for things like our territory. That's my land. No, that's my dirt. It's like, oh shit, that's my car. That's your car. That's. But if things are plentiful, what is there really to fight about? If food is plentiful, there's not a single person in this world that would ever starve, ever, 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 ever. Now there might be, the differences might be like, oh, this guy's eating wagyu, but this guy gets to eat, rice and beans and some spice and Coca-Cola every day. But he's full, but he's not full like that guy that eats wagyu or the gal that eats wagyu or something every night, right? There might be those transparencies, but then my point is like, I never understood it. Like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? If I had to eat rice and beans every day, I'll put a little spice on that bitch though, you know what I mean? A little lemon, chop it up. But yeah, if I got to eat that every day, but I got to be with my wife, I got to be with my family, I got to be with my friends, and we just got to hang out and, chat, play catch, just do whatever, like, and just enjoy their company. I want that fucking more than anything in the world right now. That's why I'm working so fucking hard to get to that fucking point. If I got it, I don't give a fuck about your Rolls Royce or your Rolex or whatever the fuck you got or your mansion. It wouldn't matter to me. I'd be so happy because I got to spend as much time on this earth that I have with the people that I love. I don't give a fuck if you're eating wagyu every night. But if I got to just get my stomach full, but I got to hang out with my family and my friends and the people I love the most, and we got to chill every fucking day, and we were just like, yeah, I'm so excited to see my friends and family, bro. And if I got to do that all the fucking time and I didn't have to fucking answer tenant calls or have to worry about bank loans and what the economy's doing, fucking sign me up, bro. I'm fucking out of this shit. You could have all the mansions, whatever. If I got a cool little 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom little house, fuck it. 2-bathroom, 2-bedroom house, a decent car to get around wherever I needed to get around. And I knew I had food over my head every night. I got healthcare taken care of. And I got to hang out with my friends and family every day. Fucking sign me up, bro. I'm fucking there. What are we talking about, bro? What the fuck are we talking about, right? And everybody always looks at it as a dystopian society. Oh, you're going to get food like this. You're going to get... I don't think it's going to work like that. I really don't. Yeah, that is the only way that you could achieve a utopian society, because we have a battle of resources that are divvied up amongst us. But if we get an AI intelligence that thinks faster than a human, like a quant, that could figure out how to, mine asteroids to bring more, materials in here that could help everybody, get a house or could help, us get whatever the fuck it is that we need and help us even get off this planet, right? And start civilization elsewhere. Like, that's what we would fucking want. That's why I just don't understand the whole, like, look, I get it. You should always be worried. I'm worried about the weapons that fucking the military's making right now. Like, is it really necessary to make more fucking weapons? To make lasers and sound fucking weapons and shit? No, but we're fucking doing it anyways. And that's another thing is like, well, fuck, here's another part of this AI layer. We kind of have to be on the forefront. And I'm fucking biased, 100%. I'm America first, baby. Fucking through and through, whatever the fuck this is, right? Like, I am America. I trust the American government more than I trust majority of other governments. I don't trust them 110%. But if I had to put money down and I'm betting, like, okay, who do I trust that's going to at least give me a shot to feel like I had freedom? It would be America, more than China, more than India, more than Russia, more than fucking anybody else. We need to lead the forefront on this. We do. We need to lead the forefront on this. And we have to be the ones that have the code, that have the best AI. You know, look, America has not been the most moral and ethical country. We definitely have our flaws. All right, don't get me fucking wrong. Be like, American, you trust them? They did this. Of course, they did some fucked up shit. Every government does fucked up shit, right? Like, there's no question about that. But do I trust American government, American laws, rules, and regulations more than I trust other countries? Yes, 100%, without a fucking doubt, man. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Just go visit another country, bro. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. You'll see the open corruption that's there, right? With that being said, we kind of do have to be the leaders on this. Because imagine if this AI shit falls in the hands of China or falls in the hands of our enemies, like the destructive power on the evil side that it can do, right? Wipe out power grids, you know, make bets to destroy economy, like all kinds of crazy shit, bro. All kinds of crazy shit. And yeah, man, I just sometimes I feel like we are beginning to be wired for fear. And I'm starting to wake up to that more and more because I've always been a cautious person. I've always been scared. I've always been like, you know, like, oh, think about this, think about this, think about the downside first before you know, do stuff. And I don't think that's bad. I think you should always look at your downside before you make bets or do whatever. But we're also becoming into this, like, into this world where it seems like everything's always fucking negative. And I know for sure this is why TikTok is killing it, and you know, other social media sites are, you know, pushing the narrative to ban TikTok, which is another topic for another day. Sorry, folks, but you know, it's because at least TikTok's algorithm shows you the things you want to see, shows you education, makes you happy, and Facebook and all those clowns realize if we get each other mad at each other and post about Trump and we get that engagement back and forth, that it fucking, that's what makes us go, we love it. We got to be a part of it. Oh, fuck. What the fuck did that guy say? Let me fucking at that motherfucker. Oh, block, block, block. Yeah. That's a horrible, unhealthy society. I don't even know what the fuck the point was of that saying. I just started the negative shit, right? Like, yeah, that's what it was. Like, you know, then posting about AI, like, look how bad it is. It's gonna be so negative. And then when you get that, then people are like sharing it, like, oh, you know, this is a talking point. AI is really bad, and it's like, why the hell do we always have to have everything that is negative? Like, we got to start looking at things in a more positive light. I don't think it's good for our souls to constantly look at everything negative. I really don't. And look, like I said, we got to be cautious for sure. I'm not saying let these dudes do whatever the hell they want. We got to have oversight, but I'm also not like, oh my God, the world's going to end. This is going to be the end of it. It's like, dude, everything will happen naturally. It's going to progress. You really think us tripping about it is going to stop some dudes? If there's fuck billions, there's trillions on the line. Someone's going to go make this tech. All I'm saying is might as well be us to take it, to make it, right? Just like the fucking nuclear bomb, right? The Nazis were working on it. We got there first. Imagine if that shit fell into the Nazis' hands. This world will look a lot fucking different. And that's how I kind of view AI, low key. Low key. The second coming of the motherfucking nuclear bomb. In a sense, right? Because it could be powerful. And I still don't think we're anywhere near there yet. Anywhere near. I think we're decades away from a fully functioning operating system. You know, because you got to remember when we had like the personal computers, like all the way from like the 60s, it really wasn't until like the 90s, so 40 years before we started making interface software that actually made the difference. Right? And if I had to put a fucking educated guess or educated number on it, like realistically, I think for AI to even get close to the level of actually, I think by the end of this decade, we'll have AI tools. We will have AI tools that help us. But, you know, they're not going to be like tools where I just, you know, like I'm trying to think of an example that would be life-changing. Like where I could, like there's an artificial intelligence that if I had like a storage company, like if I had storage units or something, that when you called and you talked to an AI, you didn't recognize that it was an AI or if it was a real person, and it started saying jokes like, hey, how's your day going? Oh, okay, where are you going? Oh, where are you? Like being able to, I don't think we're anywhere near that level. Now, I might be able to do some basic tools very, very, very effectively. like auto response on Instagram, for example. Like if I have an Instagram page that continues to grow and I get to like 100,000 followers and I get like, 150 messages a day, and it could automate a conversation like smooth full depending on the inputs that we put in. I'm sure that, of course, that's even possible today, but I mean, I think that could be really refined, right? Um, and a bunch of other tools, right? Like simpler tools that, like for example, can I tell like, hey, AI software, can you look at county data and tell me who has tax liens in a 2 mile radius of this block or whatever, right? Instead of me typing it out, if I said that, like, could it pull data like that that's very specific, and you know exactly where the data source is to pull it, so you don't have to go do it yourself? Yeah, sure. That's a live, active, like you don't have to write a code for it. Sure. And also, could there be uh, a facing software where you say, hey, create me a like button for the app I'm making, and then it sources the code that's been out there, and hey, change the color of the like button to orange or to purple or to yellow, whatever, right? Yeah, I think stuff like that. But I think where it's like full blown, like you're in a fucking robot and they're having a conversation with you, or if you're talking to somebody on the phone that's going to be an AI, you can't tell that it's an AI. I don't think we're there yet. Now you might say, oh yeah, like, well, what about the voice changing apps and all that? I think it needs a lot more data to actually be able to fucking carry out conversation. Like I said, do I think we'll be there in 7 years? I don't. I could be 100% wrong. It could happen in 7 years, but I think realistically to get to like a full blown, like we're fucking wow, I think 2050. I think 2050, because I think the first level of this is going to be those interactive tools. And as those tools start getting fed more and more info, and it starts getting more and more fine tuned, like, down to like the wires, and you have all these different data points, and you can start pulling them together, and they can bounce around, and it's more and more and more and more aggregated information. Then you could have something smart. But also, our fucking computing power is probably going to have to at least, I don't know. I don't want to put a number on it, like 4x or 5x or 6x or whatever. I don't know enough about that, but I'm assuming with the memory and like DRAM and like, processing and server stations, and also we have to go to 5G. Right, like that's another aspect of this that we don't hear a lot about, right? Because it's like you had a badass fucking sports car, right? But you live in a town and there's only one gas station that pumps it in the whole world. That's it. Like if you had a badass fucking car, like you had like a 67 Corvette, like fucking sweet ride, and you wanted to go take it for a spin, but there's only one gas station in a 50-mile radius that could fill you up. So you could enjoy that car in a that's going to run out of gas in 300 miles. So you could only go to a 150-mile radius and come back. That, you got to think of like the 5G and the connectivity of everything as like the gasoline pumps, right? Like that's another aspect of this. Before actually AI really takes off, we're going to have to come back in and put trillions of dollars of infrastructure in place in order to get, real AI, where it's like voice recognition, right? Where like, if you're in Manhattan and you're at a bar or something and you're like fucked up, instead of going your phone or whatever, it has the voice recognition technology, has everything. And it's just like on every lamppost or whatever, you just like, call me a fucking Uber, and it recognizes your voice. And it's like, boom, Uber pulls up, right? In order to have like that type of experience, we need the infrastructure in place. And I think that's another thing that people are missing. So honestly, if I was, actually shit, that's a fucking really good idea. If you're investing in AI, more than anything, you'd be investing in like data centers. And there's a lot of companies. Well, that's not a lot. There's one company that I know of. I don't know it off the top of my head. I have to Google it. But they own like the largest data center facilities. And, of course, Amazon and Google, even AMD, like a lot of the IBM, all these companies are also building up their own data centers. But I think there's so much fucking room for these data centers. Actually, fuck. Jesus Christ, guys. That might be a fucking great idea to convert office space into these fucking data centers. Huh. Yeah, it's kind of weird because we're just not there yet. right? We're just not there yet, but I definitely could see the use of office space because it's so vast, right? It's so vast, it's so kind of open. It's already kind of shelled out. So if you wanted to gut like office space, it wouldn't be that hard. And you could put, yeah, you could easily put data in it. It already has air conditioning, so you'd have to change out the pumps, but the ventilation, all that stuff's already kind of there to keep it cool, to keep it whatever. And you could add layers depending on how big the building is or whatever. Yeah, that's fucking very interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. But yeah, I definitely think you need that there. Anyways, all right, guys, I'm kind of rambling now. I think I said enough for the pod. Um, Look, man, I vented. I got a bunch of shit off my chest. I'm sorry. This one didn't really have direction. I hope you fucking gained something for it. At least it was somewhat entertaining at the very least. If you listen this far, man, I really appreciate you. Thank you guys for the support. Share this if you can, man. It really does help if you, I don't know, take a screenshot this and put it on your IG for me and say, hey, check out this podcast on Spotify or whatever, right? Yeah, I'll check you guys in the next one. And if you listen to this, dude, feel free to DM me and to see if what the next topic might be, or if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it. Feedback is great. I always welcome feedback. Everyone should be trying to get better. I'll try to get better. I'll try to take whatever criticism you have and try to improve. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Enjoy your guys' night.